put yourself in my shoes, all the witnesses, all the proofs, the hate crimes, the people ignoring um, what's going on, and you see your combos being slowed down and you're drugged. Why? Because they don't want me to build the stamina to officially beat, their record for hits in 1 minute, right? Even though they wouldn't count the distance anyway, and that among other things is why I'm not interested. Imagine if I made a arrangement with the Guinness Book team, or right? What would they do, right? They would drug me heavily that day, and I wouldn't be able to set the record. And a bunch of racists would be like, why don't you just admit you're not as good as you say you are? And house niggas would second that and get, to be paid under the table, right? So let me tell you what happened today. A lot of harassment. I went to Santa Cruz, got a bit harassed. Went to 3 different gas stations. I can't put my card in. I get gas all the time. You can tell I drive a lot. I put my card in, right? It said, pay inside. And I'm like, no one else has that, right? Actually, the first place I went to was on Blossom Hill. And if you study my habits, you probably would have I will figure out that I'm going to go there because that's where I usually go. It's a bit cheaper. It had a sticker that said, pay inside, to make it clear to me that they're harassing me. And there was a white racist female standing next to me. I call it racist because if you're gang stalking a black person, there's a degree of, well, it's also good for my race, right? Not just I'm getting paid. So there's a degree of racism, and the people who are more assertive are logically more racist than others. In other words, the average white guy is not as racist as the average gang stalker, logically. So as you look at this thing, right, and I go to Elemental Wellness after Herbs had harassed me, and I told him how I feel about it. I called him out. There was whites and bikers at Herbs. Same with Revolution Health Center when I got them on record drugging my weed. Of course, they do it in a way with plausible deniability. A lot of cops are white racists, and they make deals with prison gangs and prisoners to help harass blacks and call them dindus and feeding to mainstream misconceptions so the white man can maintain his racket long enough to go out, to fly off to space before he pays for his crimes or something, right? Or before the earth goes to hell or whatever comes first, right? Or whatever caused the dinosaurs to go extinct, Okay, so, it makes it very obvious what must be done, okay? I must be given my rightful place because it is central to everything. Psychiatry must be brought down. And the fact that they have reduced their spending on research seems to suggest one of 2 things. And I prefer the latter. One is that they've perfected their mind control, which is kind of preposterous, right? Am I controlled? No. 2, they have decided that they've tried as much as they can in that area. Technology is not enough. The understanding of elements is not there yet or whatever. And they're just going to stop for now, or there's no point. They've conceded my point. The mind, body, soul is why they're wrong. And as more and more people heard my argument and brought it to the table, they're like, yeah, based on the trajectory of his videos and the likelihood of sympathy in the general population, we are going to cut our research and stall as long as we can. Ever heard of paid for delay? Okay, you have to understand how they think, what they do, what they get sued for, and so on. What is going on is that the people who are supposed to give my dad money are being paid to delay for the white supremacy, which the CIA and them do. Every gang member that I've come across who's being honest admits that the CIA runs this to the point where there's even a TV show about it. Outlaw Bikers or something, or there was. It's on Amazon, right? And Outlaw Empire or something, okay? So we know the CIA and them are doing this. And once you do your research, you see Galton and Roosevelt and Truman. Yes, it's the Masons. And you read CIA doctors. You see, I think it was it page 11 or whatever? It's in the introduction or whatever. You see, yes, the Scottish Rite on record, according to the government's own 15,000 documents on MKUltra funded MKUltra. The mark of the beast, 666, numbers in the Bible. What is it? Well, the forehead and the hand. Well, most people are right-handed. And what connects these two like a triangle or something, right? Mind, body, soul. Think hand speed. God speed. Maneuver. I'm a man before I'm a crip. And every gang member sees it that way. Who's black, right? So what is he getting at? Martial arts. The mark of the beast is that you are following a martial arts system, and your spirit, your chi energy is being exerted mostly through your hands, right? Most martial arts, like it or not, is mostly about hand work, okay? About your works with your hands, what you create with your hands, okay? Like it or not. That's why Mediterranean boxing came first. And that is partially how I'm sure the Black Secret Society is justified, given pretend the white people are better and Asians and Jews and Krav Maga, sissies like that are better. Because they said, hey, we're in sports and boxing anyway. We're still cultivating that same agility, what have you, and hand speed. So the mark of the beast is mind, body, soul, and following the devil's temple. So everyone in mental health, the military, cops, etc., they're all right now unrepentant sinners because they're part of the surveillance state. And when you're on the inside, do you know not what you do? Or are you a fat pig eating shit like, yeah, it's shit, so what? You're a grimy fuck, man. Talking about you deal with the filth as if black people are the filth and you're the swine that eat them. And you have other white people call you that so that you can like laugh at us behind our backs. And you forget that we're smarter than you and you're hiding from my child. Look. I called you out in a way that no one can forget. Even saying I would pretend that you're right and be drugged and all that. Do everything you want me to. And I slapped you with 100 grand in your own fucking white America in the fucking face. I don't want to hear any of you say anything. Faith without works is empty. That includes faith in your own people. In a predominantly Christian society, yes, I have one. You Roman dog. Read a fucking book. Maybe start with this one and move on to this one and then apologize by the time you get to this one, you piece of fucking shit. Thank you. I apologize. There's so much to cover in so limited time. I'm just going to have to make this one quickly. Elemental Wellness, a big fat security guard who looked like he's Hispanic or something. I didn't really get a good look at him because he eyed me up and down. And I was going out of my way to avoid conflict after I was being provoked consistently by the opposition view. As you can imagine, it happens quite often. And in this day and age, fighting for whatever reason seems to be part of politics. So Elemental Wellness is now permanently removed from favorable stores and put on the boycott list and on the enemies of the black community and allies of the house niggas. Because when I wasn't going to make this decision, I was just going to tell them, and I politely told them, you know, as politely as an agitated person could. I said, for the record, almost in these exact words, you know, your security guard was harassing me, and I'm not going to come back here. And I'm black, and that's not acceptable or something. And I said, I'm not going to recommend this to anyone either. You know, and when he said, oh, he does that to everyone, I said, okay, that's it. You didn't even say sorry. You kind of acted like an agitated white person in denial. When a black person makes an honest complaint about racism, yeah, you're through. Any black person that buys weed from there, you know, don't talk to the Igbo tribe. If you know your history, Ebonics comes from Igbo, okay, interchangeable vowels, silent G, Ebonics, okay, Calabar, Hispaniola, Brazil, okay, the Leopard Society, Fighting for Honor, read the book. Most of you are Igbos, and it does not pay to side with house niggas who sold you, as opposed to the Igbos who fought to keep you from being sold and are fighting for you to this day, the royal family of the Igbo tribe. Thank you.